Hey everyone, it's Ansley here from Teen Music Insider, and today we have a very special guest with us, Alexis.
Hi.
So Alexis, you started your music career at a very young age. What inspired you to try music at all?
So I started out in music with writing. I wanted to write for this, long story short, this cause that I really believed in. And my mom, told my mom that I wanted to donate all of our money. And she's like, okay, let me explain this to you. So I was 6 at the time. And so she explained to me that people do something that they're good at or I don't know. Yeah, that they're good at for something that they believe in. And she said that's how people raise awareness and, funds for things that they believe in. So I went off and I wrote a song. And then a couple years later, somebody heard it from this charity and recorded it. And then, I started working with the Nature Conservancy and then just kind of started writing from there.
That's awesome. Did you always want to be a singer?
I always sang when I was little. So it was I didn't really think a ton about it. It was just kind of pretty automatic. I think I did want to be a paleontologist for a minute there, but no, singing and writing was really automatic for me.
How would you describe yourself in 5 words?
I'm really passionate about what I do and a lot of things that I believe in volunteer work. And so I'd say I can be really silly. I really like looking around me. I'm really observant. I feel like that has a lot to do with my songwriting. I like writing about pieces of things that people might not notice or like feelings that might kind of go by the wayside. I love my family, so I guess family oriented. That's kind of 2 words, but it's one kind of together. And 5th one, I don't know. It's so hard to describe yourself in 5 words. I don't know. I think I'd go back to silly. My friends know that I'm pretty silly. So.
What artist do you look up to right now?
I sing country and I love country, so probably a lot of country artists. I think I draw a lot of inspiration from the writers that I love. So the songwriters here in town are huge for me. People like Shane McAllister, loved him for years. So as far as artists go, I guess I love OneRepublic's new album. I've always loved them. So.
Do you think living in Nashville has helped your musical style?
It's funny because I've always loved country. So like my mom, I grew up listening to Garth Brooks because my mom loves Garth Brooks, and then my dad loves U2. So I kind of grew up on both of those things. And so I think that influences my style a lot. I think Nashville just gave me a place where it felt like home to be country, so.
How would you describe your musical style?
I would say definitely country with a lot of focus on the lyrics, I guess. That's kind of country in general though. But I think that's a lot of what draws me to it.
Oh, awesome. Can we expect any new music soon?
Yeah, so I'm actually working on an EP. I don't know exactly when you can expect it, but we will go with soon.
Awesome. I'm excited to hear it. What is the meaning behind your hit single, I Like It Like This?
So I Like It Like This, I wrote with a writer named Andy Davis. We write a lot together, and we're just talking about how when you're with someone that you really care about, it really doesn't matter what you do. We just really like that concept because I'm such a hopeful romantic. And so we decided to write about that. And so it's kind of like, it doesn't matter where we are, what we're doing, or what we have. It's just as long as we're together. That's kind of the sentiment behind it.
Aw. How did the idea for the I Like It Like This music video come about?
So I was working with a dear friend of mine, Mark Mangini, who's actually the director of the video, and we kind of were storyboarding and really just thinking about what would portray. We just wanted it to be really fun. And it ended up being so much fun because I shot it with my friends. So like Dylan, and then Michael's in it and Sammy's in it. And so it ended up just being like a big hang that day, but it was work too, but it didn't feel like it. So it was really fun.
How was it like working with Teen Wolf star Dylan?
He's awesome. I think we started going to school together in 7th grade. So I've known him for a long time. And so it was just like, it was like hanging out. It was fun. He's awesome.
That's awesome. So you're also an actress. What made you decide to try acting as well?
I've always loved looking at life through other people's lenses. And I think that kind of connects with songwriting in the sense of, you know, you can't go through everything. I mean, we go through a lot as people, but when you look at other people's lives, you know, you can find so much inspiration in empathizing with others. And I feel like acting just kind of takes that to a whole new level because you're not necessarily singing about it. You're, you know, stepping into their shoes and taking on their lives and their joys and their problems. And I think it's really cool that when you act, you step into a character without judgment. So I don't know. I think that's what really draws me to it. I love scripts too. I love writing. I love words. So any new material is like reading a new book.
That's an amazing way to look at it for sure. Can you tell us a little bit about your new movie, The Crooked Man? What's the movie about? Co-stars?
So The Crooked Man is about this man who, when you sing this nursery rhyme, he actually follows you through your life, and the premise is eventually is, you know, he's out to kill you. So to put it lightly. And it's obviously horror, and crew was so awesome. The cast was really great. It was fun for me because I had to get a lot of makeup in this movie, but not to look like better or like to have a lot of makeup on, but actually I showed up to set, and like you show up to set with no makeup on, obviously, and you're like, okay, cool, I'll go into makeup, sit down in the chair in the trailer, and you're like, cool, I get to get my makeup all done. And then they get their airbrush kit out and spray airbrush me like 5 shades lighter so that I look all pale, and like, so I've been like, I'm kind of a recluse in it. So I'm like in my house, and then they get out their purple palette and like put dark circles under my eyes, and then the next day I have like burns on this side of my body. So yeah, so that was like it was really fun. I've never had burn makeup, so that was really different.
What did you think of the movie once it was completed?
I really liked it. And it was fun to see because we had so many special effects that obviously we didn't get to see in person. From explosions to the way that the Crooked Man even moved. We did a lot of takes where he was there, and then when he was walking up to like scare someone, he wasn't there, so that and if you watch it, they kind of like flash back and forth between them. So it was really fun to see it all together.
So another big accomplishment is yours is having your songs featured in the movie Bad Night. How did you feel when your music was played in that movie?
It was really fun for me because I've never been to a premiere for a movie or a show or something where it wasn't like I was going for my acting. So going to the premiere solely for the music, for the score, was like, it was just kind of, it was a nice moment where I felt like everything was like tied together, how I really like it. And it was fun, you know, you're in a theater and it's really loud and it's just like, this is cool. So I don't know, they're really cool in that movie. John Kaplan did the rest of the soundtrack, and we wrote that song with a guy named Mike Shimshak, and they're awesome. So it was great.
Are there any other projects in the works you can tell us about?
Yeah, so I actually finished a film called Painted Horses earlier this year, and it's going to be coming out, I think, December or January. I'm not sure the exact release date, but that's coming out, and I will actually have music in that film as well.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'm excited about that, but I'm in it too. I play a character named Zoe, who's pretty troubled. So she was a fun character for me to play.
Since you're only 16, how do you manage your school with your busy schedule?
You know what? I'm almost 18 now, so I graduated this May, and I actually just started as a freshman at Belmont here in Nashville. Which has been honestly a lot to balance. I'm taking a full load, which is, it's easier than I thought it was going to be. I was like nervous about balancing it all, but it's been great. I organized my schedule so that I have school mornings on like Tuesday and Thursday, and then I can work the rest of the time. And then travel. They're really good about working with me. So
Yeah, I just graduated in May too. It's
Oh,
definitely,
awesome.
yeah. So have you ever been starstruck by someone because of the career you've chosen?
Um, it's funny. I don't know if I get starstruck often, but I think one person that I was like really speechless, could not do anything. I met Clint Eastwood.
Oh, cool.
Um, when I was just like on the street outside of a newsstand on like I think it's like that newsstand on Coldwater in Ventura. And he was just out there, and I was just couldn't do anything. So that was really cool for me.
So for right now, does your fan base have a name yet?
I don't know if they do. I don't know it. I don't think so. I don't think so.
How do you want your relationship to be with your fans?
I love having contact with them. I love being really personal and having a lot of things for them to see. That's partially why I really like social media, because of this new relationship in this day and age where you can have a close relationship with your fans, and you can, post things that you're posting that aren't like an article or something for them to read. It's like you're actually doing it. And I think that it's really cool because I think, my goal with acting and singing and, writing is to relate to people and things that are in their life. And so I think that kind of just adds a dimension of like you're a person and we can all be friends, as silly as that sounds. But I think that that's an ideal relationship for me.
Oh, it doesn't sound silly. What social media platform do you use most, do you think, to connect to your fans?
Um, Probably Instagram. I probably post most on Instagram. I try to keep up with my Facebook, but my I'm not always awesome at that. So kind of people have to do that for me. And then Twitter. I like Twitter a lot, but I feel like I always have more to say with pictures.
For sure. What's the feeling you get when you're on stage and your fans are singing your songs back to you?
Um, I it kind of goes back to that relating thing. If somebody knows the words to a song, that means that it meant something to them. And that's a huge deal for me because these songs mean so much to me, and I wrote them like about my life or things that I've been through or seen. And so for someone to relate with me by feeling a certain way about a song, I think music moves people, and so for to be a part of that, I think is just really a big deal for me.
For sure. What's your favorite song to perform live?
That kind of changes because when you write a new song, like that's your new favorite one to sing. I feel like for me, so when I do writers rounds here in Nashville, I get to do like new songs that I've written, even if they're not like produced yet or something. So I think this song that I wrote recently called "Same" is probably my favorite. I also love a song that I wrote called "Who You Are." They're just really fun to play, and they're new, so that's probably why.
What's an average day for you look like?
Um, Kind of depending. I guess average day would be I wake up. I usually run, um, get ready. If I have school, I'll do that, and then I'll go write. Probably, I usually have a writing session. And then Nashville is such a music city. There's like other writers rounds usually every night, so you can go to those or see friends. But average day, I guess, is wake up, work out, and probably figure out what I have to do that day.
How do you spend most of your free time?
With my family. My family's here in Nashville, so I'll see them. My mom and I make jam together. That's kind of our fun thing we do, so we'll do that.
Oh, that's fun. What's the best thing that's come out of this career for you so far?
Um, I love that I get to combine singing and acting.
Yeah.
When I was young, I lived in Arkansas and I worked with this theater company, or I was at this theater company there called Arts Live. And I think that was the first time that I realized you could combine singing and acting. So I was acting in the play, but we ended up making James and Giant Peach into a musical, and I helped write the music for it. And I think that was the first time that I realized you can combine the two. And so I think it's just been realizing how much they can go hand in hand. And I think the best thing too is goes back to the impacting people with music.
What's the biggest struggle?
I think the biggest struggle is staying true to the music that you want to make. Because there's so much music out there, and there's so much good music out there. And I think it's a business where people are trying to figure out what will work, what won't. And so you have a lot of different parties kind of figuring out what you should be doing. And I think it's important to stay true. And I think that's the biggest struggle, but also the biggest, the biggest success that comes out of it is when you do hear something that you like really stuck to what you wanted to do, and you hear it finished, and it's really great when you get to that point.
Well, that's awesome. If your life was a movie, what would be the title?
I don't know. It's hard because there's so many different pieces to that. I've moved a lot when I was little, so probably something about travel. I don't wear a lot of color just because I don't know why. I just kind of don't. So something about that. And then maybe something about how much I love fall and like winter, but I can't decide exactly what that means.
Who would you want to play you in the movie?
Gosh, I don't know. Whoever casting directors decided they felt like was me.
That's a good answer. What goals have you set out for yourself in your career and personal life?
I really want to write a play is kind of the thing that I've been really looking at lately. I want to get this EP out. I need to get that new music out there because I'm really excited about it. And mostly it's always been to impact. It goes back to impacting, how people look at music and how people relate to other people. When you listen to a song, it makes you think. It really, you listen to it over and over, and it really changes your view on something. And I want to finish college because I just started that this year. So yeah, we'll do that 4 years from now.
How has this whole music career experience been for you?
It's been really great. I've loved being able to communicate in a way that I'm really passionate about. I'm really lucky to have a medium for that, because I don't know what I would do if I couldn't write these things out. And like I love talking, but I'm not always the greatest at sitting there and articulating the feelings. And I love writing in general. So it kind of just combines all the things that I want to say and I want to be and I want to do, and puts them out there. And so it's been really great for me.
Do you have any advice for aspiring music artists?
Stay true to what you want to do, and don't do something because someone tells you to do it. It's pretty much listen to people, listen to everyone, and really take it into account, but kind of use your own filter on what you want to actually do, but really keep your ears and eyes open, but really stay true to yourself while you do that.
Well, thank you again for doing this interview with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, no problem.